Warning. This video contains super awesome content not suitable for people who don't enjoy super awesomeness. Viewer discretion advised.
The wrestling podcast that sets all other podcasts apart. Covering news from the world of WWE, AEW, TNA, and more. Your favorite weekly episodic podcast, Ramblers Unleashed, starts now.
It has been about, 3 weeks we were talking off air since we've done a show. And boy, I tell you what, in those 3 weeks, a lot of stuff has happened. And not only in the world of professional wrestling, but for us too, man. It's been insane. But welcome back. We are here. We are ready to ramble. And we're going to discuss Bad Blood, baby. We got your card predictions up for you. We've also got a lot of great news lined up for you. News from AEW, news from WWE. We've also got some TNA news that we're going to discuss today. But let's go ahead and do our wonderful intros. It's so good to see my man, the only man that I know that is higher than a 747 jet airliner, our resident happy guy, and whose catchphrase is and will always be Baron, please.
999.
It's, ladies and gentlemen, golfers clap for the one, the only Baron. How you doing, buddy?
Dude, I'm doing good, man. Like I said, it's been... Stop, guys. Put your shirt back on. It's fine. I'm here. It's dude, it's been a long 3 weeks. I mean, like, it's been 3 weeks since I've been on a show with you guys. We haven't talked much wrestling outside of our private chats and whatnot. So yeah, looking forward to diving in, and I'm hoping everybody's doing well.
Boy, I do too. Yeah, I mean, there's been a lot of wrestling news that's been happening. So Max is going to join us here in just a moment. He was on assignment. He was making sure that Hell in a Cell is properly constructed with more footholes in the cage. And afterwards, we hope that he's flushed all of Tony Khan's nose candy down the damn drain. You know, so that's we're gonna find out if he was able to succeed in that. But let's
Dizzy.
Yes.
Dizzy. You never flush it.
Oh, you never flush it?
You never flush it, no.
Why? Why don't you flush it? What would you do with it?
It's the same thing like with alcohol. It's alcohol abuse. Dude, you don't flush it, man. Keep it. Hide it. Do whatever you got to do. Shove it up your ass. Anything.
You just let it snow.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's our producer of the show, the man, the myth, the absolute legend. For without his tech wizardry and the gizmos that he brings to the show, plus his vast wrestling knowledge, and of course his missus, who is so kind to gift us his time for the show, and for without him we wouldn't be here today. He is the host of Smash's podcast and Total Nonstop Impact, with the latest TNA reviews on YouTube over any other podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, he is the great and infamous J-Bone. J-Bone Golfers. J-Bone, how are you, man? Boy, you've had a busy hell of a 3 weeks, dude.
Yeah, man. It sucks. You get old, you get sick, and it just takes a little longer to come back sometimes. Yeah. So it is what it is. I'm darn near 100%. So we're here, man. We're here. I'm so excited, man. WWE is giving us a throwback with some Bad Blood and a Hell in a Cell, and dude, it's gonna get gnarly in a few hours. Let's talk about it, man.
It is, man, and I'm excited for Bad Blood. Unfortunately, I'm gonna miss the live tonight, but I'm gonna catch the replay maybe tomorrow. I know. I mean, hey, I'm going out of town. I've got some things to do, and I'm gonna enjoy those things that I'm gonna be able to do today.
Enjoy yourself. That's what it's all about, man.
Yeah,
Especially
life,
here,
man.
It's so fucking nice out. You got to like go out and get some, fresh air, man.
Hell yeah, dude.
I get locked up at work, kind of working from home a lot of days. I mean, I do go to stores and stuff, but like I'm home a lot, and then it's like, God damn, feels good to, kind of just get out and
dude, we've been pretty. I mean, minus the hurricanes. I mean, in the Midwest here, we've been pretty pretty blessed. But I do want to say, man, our prayers and thoughts are with everyone down south.
Oh yeah,
getting hammered by all this stuff, and we also hope and pray that everyone gets the relief and the supplies that they need. Because I mean, I don't mean, I'm gonna try not to get political with this, but damn, somebody needs to do more. I'm just saying. I'm just going to leave it at that.
Hurricane Helene was one of the worst hurricanes in our time, and it left a lot of destruction. I know that TNA donated some of their proceeds from TNA tapings to the folks that were affected by Hurricane Helene, and that was back in September. But you know, it just goes to show that Mother Nature sometimes doesn't play around, man. Yeah. And we saw a little bit of the rain here in the Midwest. I know that J-Bone, you saw a lot of it. Baron, you saw about the same amount that I did here in Southern Illinois, and it's just been it's
eerie how, like, you know, the storms are happening down there, but like just a couple days later, like, because it got dark. I mean, it was the clouds, you could just tell, and it rained his ass off here for a while.
Yeah, I mean, it did its damage here too. I mean, it rained, and we got some major winds. A lot of people were reporting trees on their vehicles and their houses and roofs and things like that. So hopefully you guys didn't have any damage to your property.
No, we didn't over here in Missouri at all. But yeah, you definitely thoughts out to send them positive vibes out to anybody affected by it, because I mean, it's something you can't deal with, man. Weather is weather. You never know when it's, you know, especially, you know, being in the Midwest, especially Missouri area. It could be 70 degrees. It could be 90 degrees. Tornadoes later in the evening. Hell, could be snow. We've had it happen. It's wild.
Yeah, and Courtney, our thoughts with you too. She says here in Salem, Massachusetts, in 26 days it will be nuts. So our thoughts and prayers are with you. J-Bone, did you get any damage from the recent storms?
No, man, it's been pretty mild here. We've had, you know, the little rain here and there. But it's been, I mean, I can't complain, dude. We've had a great summer, and it hasn't been super hot either. We've barely ran our AC just because we've had the windows open. I mean, if it gets a little hot, we'll close up for a bit and cool the place down. But man,
I wish I could have my windows open overnight when sleeping, but I get so fucking sick the next day. I can't do it. Like, I feel it here, you know. It's just,
I know.
I love it though. It feels great, and it's obviously saving you money. But goddamn, I feel like shit.
Yeah, I live on a second story in my apartment, and there are nights where it gets down to like 40 degrees. I'll open up the windows maybe in the living room and keep it
just
closed.
Move some air around. Yeah.
Just moving some air. Yeah. But it feels really nice. I hate fall. Like, I absolutely hate fall because it brings colder weather, and I'm not built for the cold anymore. I mean, I've lived in the Midwest my whole life. But, you know,
it doesn't get easier as you get older, dude. It's just like,
it does not, man. It sucks. But, you know, I am so ready to talk some wrestling, man, because it's been a while since we've been able to talk some wrestling. Of course, we're awaiting the arrival of Max Mages to get his take on the oversight of Hell in a Cell, the building of it, the construction, and they've been WWE has been live streaming that build all day. Which is really, really awesome to see that. You're able to hear the sounds too, them clanging the hammers and the drills and things like that. So
I'm dizzy.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're watching the live feed for Hell in the Cell right now. Right now, there's like 10 guys trying to get Max off the top of the cell right now. He's fucking around. That's why he's not here right now. Oh my God.
Top of the Hell in a Cell, dude. What are you doing? We're gonna have to talk to that guy, man.
He's living the dream.
He is living the dream. Yeah, I guess maybe he took some of TK stash. let's go ahead and kick things off with the question of the day, and that is, are you excited for Bad Blood? Let us know in the comments. Very highly anticipated PLE happening today, later on today. So let us know if you're excited for Bad Blood, what match you're looking forward to, and you might see your comments pop up throughout the show. But let's dive into it, man. Last night's SmackDown featured the return of AJ Styles, and fans were excited to see what he would do during the show. As it turns out, he made many people worry after possibly suffering an injury during SmackDown, and that injury has been revealed. AJ came out and cut a heartfelt promo to the universe, but he was rudely interrupted by Carmelo Hayes, and it eventually led to a match between the two, and fans were really excited for it. I missed it, but I wish I would have seen it. The match started with high stakes, but it took an unexpected turn, being called off, giving Carmelo Hayes the win by forfeit. However, Carmelo's night didn't end there, as LA Knight made a statement by hitting him with a post BFT. Despite the supposed injury, though, Styles managed to limp out of the ring on his own before receiving medical attention. Later, he was spotted using crutches, leaving fans concerned about the severity of his injury. Now, according to Fightful Select, it was reported that AJ Styles' injury angle had been planned, and he was not legitimately injured whatsoever, which is really good news. Therefore, fans will definitely be relieved to know that he's not hurt at all. It remains to be seen how the company will continue to play out AJ Styles' injury angle, and it's quite clear that the company has something planned long-term in the mind for AJ Styles and Carmelo Hayes, because that could be a really, really good feud, man.
I figured he just got injured because of Hardy botching his goddamn intro yesterday. Last night. The music country star, I think he is, right, Hardy? I'm not into the newer country, but what did he announce him as? The phenomenal forearm or something like that. Yeah, it was like instead of the phenomenal one, he introduced him as the phenomenal forearm. I'm like,
phenomenal forearm.
Yeah, that's what they introduced him as. I got a good laugh.
That's great.
But AJ Styles has been gone for a while. Didn't he just returned?
Yeah,
I think he was just.
So I'm confused with the injury angle. I'm not sure what that's about. If it's not legitimate,
I trust Trips. I'm sure he's got something good lined up. Dude, it's all in all, AJ in the long run is going to be whacking someone with some crutches and just bring it.
Yeah, hell yeah. Anything AJ does is great. I love him. I love AJ Styles. Since I've all the way back to TNA, but when he came into WWE, he's really I think gotten even more phenomenal. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Another really big debut for the company during last night's SmackDown. The company aired a video vignette for the new debuting tag team, the Motor City Machine Guns, and a lot of fans wondered who was coming in, and we know now for certain, and sources suggest that the vignette that aired was in fact for the Motor City Machine Guns, and this was the general mindset during SmackDown last night. And the big question is, when will they debut? It was also reported that someone in the know in the company reached out last night to clarify that they've heard of Shelly and Sabin being discussed for the NXT brand, but they've always been planned for SmackDown for quite some time, which is really cool. And that was, if Max was here, I know he was super duper stoked for Motor City Machine Guns. But do you think that this is a good move, Baron, that they move Motor City Machine Guns straight to the main roster from NXT? Because they are, how old are they? They're kind of up there in age. I don't think they need much. Yeah, I don't think they need much development.
I was muted there, but yeah, they're in the early 40s. Yeah, I think it's great. I think that's something maybe I don't want to say WWE's lacking, because they're really not lacking that, but there's not much of a tag team Presence? I'd probably get some hate for that. And maybe not hate, but like, what is he talking about? Because I feel like, Finn and JD, they've only had one title defense since they've been champions, right? And that was on Monday. And then, I feel like there needs to be a different presence of a tag team there, a fresh face, we're losing New Day. I think it's needed for the main roster.
Yeah, I think so too, J-Bone. And I know that you've been kind of excited for the Motor City Machine Guns to make their debut too.
I'm very excited. Now, if Vince was still in the company, I'd be a lot more worried, but I trust Trips. I do. Does he do everything perfect? No. But he's working his ass off with his team, and I trust him. And put it this way, I also heard about another team that's going to be coming back soon, and that's the Viking Ecstasy, the Viking. What is that? Viking Raiders, whatever the hell they're calling them now.
I think you're right. The Viking Raiders or something like that. Yeah,
Viking. It should be the Viking Raiders. I don't think it is the Viking Raiders. Whatever it is, they're coming back soon. Hopefully, not too dolled up in the fur. Maybe a little more, stripped down. Maybe a little more. I don't know, just down to earth looking. But
you mean less gimmicky?
Less Viking-ish. No, but no, I respect the gimmick, because I think it's something that they actually are into. It's part of their culture as far as like their background and their ancestors and stuff. So I respect that. But sometimes it's just like you can go too far on a gimmick, and it becomes a little clownish. If Vince was still like, okay, so we saw the promo and we saw a lot of like cop cars, and we saw like little quick clips of the city of Detroit and stuff like that. So that gave it away right there. And I'd be scared if Vinnie Mac was in charge. We'd have Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin coming out in cop suits with assless chaps. I'm just saying, it'd be like a police academy thing, like when they walked into that one club and it's like, oh no, wrong club. It'd be like one of those things,
looking like rejects from the Village People.
Right. Yeah. But no, I trust Trips. I'm pretty sure that, because I did read somewhere that they're going to have some kind of, I don't want to say gimmick, but they're going to like change them up from how they've been kind of looking the last decade or so on TNA and other places they've been, which I don't know what you're going to do with them. I thought they've looked fine. They've been kind of like rock and roll, kind of punkish,
Yeah.
Because that's what they are,
Well, with the name Motor City Machine Guns, you don't need to come out on riding unicorns,
Oh God. I mean, unicorns and shooting machine guns, I'm down.
Well, okay, shooting machine guns of rainbows, they don't need that,
How about Bubbles?
Well,
Bubbles the unicorn.
Oh, Bubble.
Maybe. No. Okay.
I don't know about that, man. But speaking of NXT, it's been a big week for that company. According to Russell Nomics, the October 1st episode of NXT secured 800,900 and God dang it, over 800,000 viewers. Jesus Christ. 895,000 viewers. Gee, Manetly. Sometimes I just can't talk. With 0.26 in the coveted 18 to 49 demographic. The number is huge. Sound off.
Oh, hey. Look at that.
My God, it's the marvelous Max Mages. He finally got off the top of the Hell of the Cell cage. It's good that you're here. Thank you for coming down off of the cage. I would assume you had a little bit of blowback from TK's nose candy after climbing a cage, but
Listen, the hardest part of prepping for today was not the cage. I mean, there was a chance that flap was just going to fall in like it did on Mick Foley. But the hardest part of prepping for today was separating TK from his candy, and it was a fight. Let me tell you, I feel like I got F5 by Brock Lesnar a couple of times.
But you were able to flush down his nose candy, take it away from him?
Oh, yeah, totally. It's flushed. It's gone. Of course, his dealer's in the audience, so.
There's no other way to do anything with that candy.
Of course, apparently his dealer's sitting in the audience right now and was able to replenish his supply. But I flushed what I could.
Well, thank God you flushed what you could, and thank you for overseeing the Hell in a Cell build, which we greatly appreciate that.
I think he set them back a little bit, but they're back on track now.
I do have a request. Next time, can we send one of the two skinnier guys up there?
Baron, I choose you.
Yeah, Pokemon. Baron, I choose you.
Okay, sure. I'll go. Fine.
Right. Oh my God. Well, Max, welcome to the program, man. It's been a while since we've been able to talk to you too, dude. How you been?
Listen, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm just happy to be here. I have missed you guys. You have no idea. Although, and without going into specifics, because that would be rude, I am very disappointed that a certain member of the Rambler family still has not put special treats in front of the rest of us.
Yeah, I'm not going to name names, but that's super disappointing for us, especially the hungry one down here.
I know. He's sitting here with the munchies, and this guy's not bringing us treats. What's up with that?
Yeah, dude. Bro.
Sorry.
So here's an unpopular opinion, not to get too away from things, but I like to go different directions with conversations. But when it comes to munchies and stuff like that, fried food, especially burgers, is actually not that great when I have the munchies. And that's an unpopular opinion when it comes amongst the stoners. But I'm more of a sweet candy, ice cream, snacky guy. Like, to me, the fried food, I mean, don't get me wrong, I still fucking eat it, but, it makes me feel kind of, nauseous after being
loaded, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? After being high like that, because I eat it so fast and whatnot. So I try to stay away from the fried food. But if Daybone's giving out free food, I'll be the first in line.
So what you're saying is you'd rather have a pint of the flavor of the day?
Yes, absolutely. That's really fucking great right now.
Okay. Oh, wait, I need to know where Baron's going to get his burgers, because the places I go, they grill them or they flame broil them. I have got to try a fried burger. Where are you going to get a fried burger?
Well, the grease. I mean, have you ever had it? Culver's burger? They're greasy as hell. I mean, not fried, but the grease.
They're butter
burgers. They're butter burgers. They're
I'm just saying, technically they're not fried, and I would love to try a fried burger.
Well, maybe not fried, but you know what I was getting at, damn it.
My mom used to make some really kick-ass burgers, and they would fry them. They would fry the burgers, and my God, they were melt in your mouth. They were so good.
I mean, technically speaking, a steak burger from Steak and Shake. I mean, I feel like they're fried in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They're super thin and super.
They're put on the grill, but
Yeah.
God damn it! Now I'm hungry. What the fuck are we doing, guys?
I know.
God damn it! I want some ice cream or something.
No shit. I got some ice cream and Coca-Cola in the fridge, man. Aaron, you and I later on after the show, we're gonna get a Coke float. Cool.
Let's do it.
All right. Well, thank you, Max. We're happy to have you here. Let's continue the conversation about CW's debut for NXT. According to Russellnomics, the October 1st of episode of NXT secured over 800,000 viewers with a 0.26 in the coveted 18 to 49 demographic. That's a huge number. Huge increase in viewership from last week's show, which got 620,000 viewers, and an increase in the coveted 18 to 49 demographic as last week's show received a 0.19. So this week's episode of NXT was a debut show on the CW network. It featured Cora Jade making her shocking return to help Roxanne Perez retain the NXT Women's Championship against Julia. Trick Williams won the NXT Championship after defeating Ethan Page in more moments. And it was a massive move for the company and for the network as well. We'll have to wait and see how NXT will continue to build their storylines in the coming weeks. And are you guys excited for this? Did you watch NXT on CW Network?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, good crowd. Great main event. That's what I was there for. You know, I wanted to see Ethan Page versus Tripp Williams. Congrats on Tripp Williams being a 2-time champ. We'll see what's next for Ethan Page, but I think if I was someone in charge, I'd be putting Ethan Page on the main roster sooner rather than later. I think he's damn good enough too. But that's me. You know, he's been around for a while. He doesn't need to spend too much time to season down in NXT. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Max, did you get to watch NXT on the CW network at all on Tuesday?
I haven't. I'm gonna be honest with you. I haven't watched a lot of the weeklies in a little while.
Yeah.
I catch bits and pieces here. But bringing this up reminded me of something I told you guys I was going to send you earlier in the week. There was some drama on Twitter this week involving William Regal and a fan, and a whole bunch of wrestlers jumped in to defend Regal after what this fan said, because this fan actually accused him of snaking talent from AEW for WWE.
Oh.
So I'm sending it to you right now.
So run down that whole thing for us real quick.
So what started this was NXT made a post. It wasn't this week; it was last week, talking about the end of an era, because it was their last show on USA. They were moving forward. They were going to be on CW. So Regal tweeted that he was part, except for H's family, part of the very beginning of NXT. He's still involved, not as much as he was. And he thanked Sean, Matt, everyone else that fought the fight, making a 1-hour program on WWE Network to be able to travel the world, make new stars. He said it's been the best part of a 41-year career, being NXT to the core. And some guy named Ken tweeted and said, "Thank you for everything you did for NXT and also snaking out the competition, AEW." This was Regal's response to Ken. FYI, although it serves some people's agenda and having a massive amount of people who work in AEW that can only back me up, I went to AEW to help because Bryan Danielson asked me to. Please find me one person who can say otherwise. I arrived at 10 a.m. until 6:15 p.m. Eastern Time to train anyone who wanted to come. Apart from going to the restroom and refilling my water container, I never attended a single production meeting, as I knew if I were to stay there, I needed people to realize I was only there to help, nor did I ask a single question about anybody that works there's contract status. I helped at the ring with what any of the talent needed. I showered and got into a suit by 6:30, then watched the monitor with everyone else. I'm giving you the right to ask anyone who works backstage or talent the right to ask them if I did anything but help with no agenda. Feel free. I also didn't call Tony when his mom was ill. He called me, and as soon as he told me where he was, I ended the phone call. We spoke 2 weeks later. FYI, my deal was up in December. It was up December 28th. That's when I left. These are all facts I can prove. Anyone trying to twist this has the right to check this out. I am friendly with 60% of the talent and the backstage crew. Feel free to do some real research. And then he had some wrestlers tweet back in his defense. And that did not appear right there. Give me a second.
So it sounds like a lot of people came to Regal's defense, which is good.
Oh, yeah.
You know, why do fans feel the need to call people out over this? You know, I don't understand that. You know, why can't we as fans just enjoy the product? And I know that we get on here and we talk and we bitch and but we don't accuse of another talent stealing another roster's talent to bring them over to another company. We don't do that.
No.
I don't understand why people feel the need to do that.
So here's the thing. First off, I've been snaking a couple of other podcasts. I'm bringing Puddin' Brain in and a couple other people because, that's what we do around here. We snake the other companies, right? The fans want to feel like they're a part of it in some way, shape, or form. That's why you will see a lot of them refer to Undertaker as Mark or Triple H as Paul. I mean, to be fair, Paul is kind of going as Paul in the credits right now, but that's not the point. If you meet this man in public, that is Triple H, right? Mm-hmm. Shawn Michaels is not going by Michael Hickenbottom, no matter what his real name on his birth certificate is. He's going by Shawn Michaels. You call them by the name that they have chosen, the name that they are running with publicly, and you don't interject yourself and make yourself feel like you're a part of it. But that's what this is. This fan wanted to feel like he was part of the AEW family, so he accused Regal, who was there briefly and went back to WWE, of trying to snake the wrestlers. And that's not how you. I don't mean to tell people how to enjoy their fandom, but that's not how you fan.
No, that's not how you fan, and that's what we don't do here on this show. And
so I'm confused. So they were trying to snake people from AEW to WWE.
Yes, that is what the accusation
have we
is.
not watched AEW product in the last fucking 2 years? Their entire roster is WWE. I don't think that worked out for William Regal, right? I don't know.
I mean, here's the thing. They've got some very talented people on the AEW roster. I could understand. I mean, you want to see a true snaking? Let's look at the Monday Night Wars. How many people jumped ship back and forth during the Monday Night Wars? Was there any real snaking going on? Not necessarily, but you had people jumping back and forth. Now, AEW does have some talented people that are not WWE send-offs. We'll call them send-offs. I don't mean to be negative towards them. Some of them left by choice. WWE let some of them go. But AEW does have some very MJF, for example, is a non-WWE guy that is very talented, very well-known. In fact, he is in Happy Gilmore 2 with Adam Sandler. But you'll notice that he didn't even go to WWE while Regal was there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, at the end of the day, business is business, and whoever offers up the most money, do it. I want everybody to see.
That's how it was during the Monday Night Wars.
Fans. Yeah, fans are fans.
Well, be better than that, guys. Be better than that, fans. We move on because the Netflix docuseries Mr. McMahon has been a spark of a lot of conversation, and one of the big ones is this story right here. Of course, a docuseries. I haven't watched all of it myself. I need to, but it gives us kind of an unfiltered look into Vince McMahon's history and some of the stuff we know. Some of it we didn't know, but not a lot of stuff that we didn't know versus the stuff that we do. But he made a point to tweet out before this release that there are two sides to every story. Now that we know that Kevin Dunn is no longer with WWE at this time, there's really nothing brewing into the response of Netflix. But the pro wrestling world is just absolutely full of rumors. You never know what people are going to be talking about next. And a rumor started that Kevin Dunn is working on a response to Netflix's Mr. McMahon docuseries, one that would give his side of the story. Kevin Dunn, of course, we know, left WWE shortly after McMahon, but he's not getting involved in the McMahon business at this time. PW Insider actually reported a response to those asking about rumors that Kevin Dunn is producing a Vince McMahon piece that would respond to Netflix's Vince McMahon docuseries, and it was clarified by the outlet that those rumors are absolutely incorrect. So if you had heard that there may be another spin on the Mr. McMahon docuseries at this time. There is not, which is good because I really don't want to know what Vince McMahon's side of the story. Why? Because I don't care about Vince McMahon's side of the story. We've had his side of the story for a long time. It's time to hear other people's story on Vince McMahon and how this man conducted business and how he was to other companies, to his company, to his people. Of course, he's under a lot of trouble and investigation with the Janelle Grant thing, which that needs to be centered. You know, I think that and I haven't watched the docuseries yet. Have they touched on it at all, guys? Do we know?
I'm not sure. I watched a few parts. I haven't watched the whole thing.
Okay.
So what I do know, because I've only watched about half the first episode, is that during the opening portion of it, they do have a thing pop up and say, right before the final interview, news broke and they mentioned the scandal then, and I don't think they came out and said Janelle Grant's name there, but they did pop up the lawsuit on the screen and all that. I don't know if they talk about it more later, but
I need to watch it all. I need to just sit down.
I guess I'm on the last episode is what I'm guessing. I had to go look, but I think they even stayed in there that they're really not touching bases. This is all pre-recorded prior to. Of course, they're going to bring up some of the, allegations and stuff like that. But Vince McMahon didn't really have any words in that matter because this was already pre-taped before these ever happened.
And there's 100 some hours of footage, and some of that they didn't use in this docuseries. So I just kind of wonder what
I think I'm gonna go just on a little rant about this docuseries. Not really rant even. I was actually very upset watching this because I felt like this was more advertised as we're getting some juicier shit on Vince McMahon, right? I literally, and I'm not even blowing steam up my own ass, knew every single story that was portrayed in this docuseries. None of this is nothing that we as fans, who've been fans for however long we've been fans, known about. There's not a single thing in that we didn't know about.
Some
that wasn't already common
longer
knowledge.
than Baron's been alive.
Yeah, you probably have. But I didn't think it was that great. I think they could have really actually got into it a little bit more. And then of course the guests that came on there, they weren't really worried about Vince McMahon. They were like the Bret Hart situation. I fucking can't stand him. I don't care what people are going to say about that comment. I can't stand him. Yeah, I was very upset about that whole docuseries. So I'm hoping that Kevin Dunn doesn't produce one for Vince McMahon because it would be probably even worse.
There's a thing very early on in the first episode where Vince is like, there's stories I could tell you, but I don't want to, and I'm not going to.
Yeah.
That's the first episode, man.
And this thing was advertised. The way they advertised it, I felt like, okay, we're going to get some knowledge here. We're going to learn things that we've all wanted to know. And it's like, and I've been watching people post about it on Facebook since it came out, and they're like, I knew that. I knew all of that. It's so far, from what I understand, there's been nothing of a surprise in this. There was one thing, though, that I will point out that I have decided is a surprise. And freaking Punk, you need to watch it just for this. Just watch the until you see this part. The Iron Sheik wasn't saying anything. Turns out everything the Iron Sheik said was gibberish. And then during the documentary, they cut to a clip of him in the ring saying something, and I'm like, I can totally see that now. He's standing in the ring, and he went, bala, 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 and I'm like, that is gibberish. How did I not know that then?
But he was so over, he couldn't talk. He couldn't say a damn word.
Yeah.
Couldn't say a word because he was getting surrounded by booze, So
it's funny because here's the
why
thing.
wouldn't he even waste his breath on a decent promo if they're just going to boo the shit out of him?
Right. But here's the thing. The booze he got, I could still hear him speaking. Dominic Mysterio, those fans have that down. And listen, we've talked on the show. I thought that they piped in some of those boos. No. Maybe they're turning his mic down, but the boos are legit. There is no speaker helping the fans boo Dom when he goes to talk.
Yeah.
And I will tell you that when I was still doing managing, when I would come down to that ring with the microphone, they wouldn't give me a chance to speak. That's the job. When you're the bad guy manager, the job is complete when they don't want you to talk and they boo so loud that you can't get a word in edgewise.
Yeah. And that's both of them did their job, Dominic's doing his and the Iron Sheik did his, and that's what it's all about, So we'll keep an eye on this whole Vince McMahon Netflix thing situation, and of course we're keeping an eye on any news that comes up with Janelle Grant too. But let's move on to some AEW news because it's time for Baron's $9.99 moments. And after the announcement of AEW's new multi-platform, multi-year media rights deal with Warner Brothers Discovery on October 2nd, the new details have emerged regarding the future of Ring of Honor TV. The newly inked multi-platform, multi-year deal will see AEW Dynamite and Collision continue to air on TNT and TBS and will be simulcast on the Max app. And for the first time, both shows and their libraries will also be available for the on the streaming platform. However, questions about Ring of Honor's TV broadcast future remain unsolved. Now, prior to the deal's finalization, a WBD affiliate, True TV, was rumored to be involved in AEW's content distribution, with speculation pointing to True TV as a potential home for Ring of Honor programming. Now, according to sources, True TV it was indeed considered as part of the deal. We're just kind of monitoring this because they continue to air on Honor Club for right now, maintaining its status quo. We're still waiting to see what happens with Rampage too, because we know that there have been talks about possibly dropping that program, bringing back AEW Dark, which it is what it is. But Baron, the question for you, sir, is should the company focus on what NXT is doing right now and use ROH as a development entity? And with that, should they see the viewership that maybe the NXT is seeing? Are you optimistic about this whole Warner Bros. AEW deal? What are your thoughts, man?
I always love when we get to these segments and then Dizzy hands it off to me and then he just giggles because he knows I'm going to say something stupid. He knows I'm going to say something stupid.
I know because I know you don't like AEW, and I even thought about making a different $9.99 moment for you, but I really kind of curious as to what your thoughts are since the deal is finalized now and what we're going to see going forward.
Well, first off, I'm glad that they got the deal that they wanted because clearly this is what they wanted, and that's the most important thing in all of it. Whether we all have our disdain for that company or whatnot, it's good that they're going to be able to continue what they want to continue with the company. So I'm happy for them on that. And that, so all the PLEs are going to be on HBO, right? Is that the the pay-per-views are they're done with what are they done with? Bleacher Report they're done with Bleacher Report. So they're going to focus on pay-per-view.com, PPV.com. They're also going to continue on Fight TV and all the other places that myself we're also going to see we're going to see them continue where they were, but I don't know if they'll be able to stream live on Max. I would assume they'll be able to, which that will take away from everything else, like maybe not PPV.com because I think that's international, but everything except for the international stuff, I think we're
they're going to slowly merge everything onto the Max app.
Yeah.
I think I heard that. Now I might be wrong on this. I'm not sure of like the exact details on the pay-per-views going to Max, but I think I heard or I saw a headline, something referring to that they're going to be on there at a reduced rate. So it's not going to be like WWE has all their, like, for example, Bad Blood will be on the Peacock and you can watch it for free on there if you have the Peacock subscription. If you have Max, I don't think the pay-per-views are going to be free. I'm not sure for how much they're going to be reduced, but honestly, for a $50 pay-per-view, any reduction is going to, I'm guessing maybe half. I don't know. I have no idea.
But anybody in 2024 that's still charging for a show like that at $50 and needs to, I don't know. I find that ridiculous, especially with, how WWE has done their stuff with their WWE.com or the network and into Peacock where you pay the $9.99, you get more than just WWE, so that's always a plus. And Peacock does put on good stuff on their app from time to time.
So here's what I found on the AEW pay-per-views, and this is on WarnerBrothersDiscovery.com. All AEW program airing on WBD's networks will also be available to stream on demand on Max. AEW and WBD will also collaborate to distribute AEW live pay-per-view events on Max at a discounted price per event, with all marketing and promotions of those pay-per-view events exclusively centered on Max.
Okay.
So it doesn't list the price yet or whatever.
Not that I'm seeing, but here, let me pull up the page. Maybe it'll.
It's still a new. I mean, it's still a new deal. I mean, it was just announced on the 2nd of October, so it's still probably being negotiated and all that. I would assume if they're going to do it like half off, if the pay-per-view's $20 or $50 on ppv.com, they'll make it 25.
AEW pay-per-view distribution on Max will begin later in 2025 with additional information and pricing to be shared in the coming months.
Okay, there you go.
But still, is it going to be worth $25 to watch an AEW pay-per-view?
Oh yeah.
You think so?
Here's my
I think for the avid fan, absolutely. Do I think that for the casual fan? Absolutely not. I don't think a casual fan of, someone that WWE watches WWE casually would go out and spend more than $9.99. And they probably got that Peacock app from getting other things for, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like, I don't know. I don't feel like I would go out of my way to pay $25 for their show. And I don't hate their show. I want to make clear that I don't wish negative things on their show or anything like that.
Just Tony Khan.
Tony Khan. I want nothing but the best for them. I just am not getting their direction, and that's my fault. With them, I think they have too many shows going on. I think there's too many big marquee matchups on their weekly shows that should be highlighted on a PLE pay-per-view or whatever we're going to call it. There's just many things along those lines. But I'm happy that they got this deal. I'm happy that they can move forward and not have that fucking black cloud around them, like when are we going to get this TV deal, so I'm glad that's happened.
That's been a big discussion among us and among other people too. So
we've been talking about it for a while. I mean, I'm glad it's official and it's done. But yeah, I ain't paying $25 for their fucking show. Kiss my ass.
Right.
So around this house, the pay-per-views have been getting paid for, and I don't know if I would have, but it's not me paying for them. But if we could get it cheaper, I'd be a little happier. I mean, even 25 isn't bad. Now, if I was doing it myself, I probably wouldn't be spending even the 25. Not when WWE offers it included in the price of the streaming service.
Right.
However, that's something WWE hasn't touched on. What is going to happen with their PLEs once they move to Netflix? Is it going to remain the same format, or are they going to start charging extra to live stream the PLE on Netflix? That's something that hasn't been covered.
Yeah, we haven't.
Yeah.
I haven't heard anything about their negotiations or their deals regarding that. That's interesting because if they move that model over to Netflix and they do the same thing that Max is possibly going to be doing, there could be a lot of people that see. I don't know. I canceled my Netflix a long time ago, so I don't feel like I'm going to subscribe to Netflix just to keep up with Raw or to keep up with the PLE on that subscription service. I don't know. I've been kind of curious about how this whole move is going to happen, and we're getting closer to it, but I just don't know. But we'll have to see. Go ahead.
I have something.
Yeah.
As of September 12th, the plan was for the PLEs to stay on Peacock, but it could change when Peacock's contract ends in early 2026. And WWE, according to this article, and WWE opts to move its PLEs and catalog to Netflix alongside Raw.
Okay. So I knew that they had a long-term deal. I knew that they had a couple years more with Peacock. But if they, once they completely move to Netflix and all that gets squared away, how they'll handle the PLE over there on Netflix, on the Netflix side, I don't know. Could there be maybe an upcharge to watching WWE programming on Netflix? Maybe they offer it as a separate package, like what Max will do. I don't know. We'll have to see. But go ahead, Max.
No. Every time we have said Max referring to the app, I've stopped and gone, wait, me? And I actually was just responding to a question in the YouTube chat.
We can put that comment up if you have it, J-Bone. But it's from Mir, and he asks Max, "Do you get discount since they use your name?" I mean that
you should. Goddamn it.
I was typing a response to Mir.
Yeah. As we let's move on because we could talk about this all day. There's some new news in AEW, and fans of AEW can expect to see more familiar faces as another member of the Hurt Syndicate makes his way to the promotion. Now, following MVP's AEW debut, Shelton Benjamin has now joined the ranks, continuing the expansion of the group. And last week on Dynamite, MVP delivered a promo alongside Prince Nana, sending a clear message to Swerve Strickland. And this week, AEW fans retreated to a backstage segment featuring MVP and Nana once again. In the scene, MVP mentioned it's his, quote, complaint department, which has led to Shelton Benjamin making an appearance. Benjamin confronted Nana, asking if there was a problem before walking off with MVP. Now, adding to the excitement, Fightful Select Sean Ross Sapp reported that Bobby Lashley is also slated to join AEW. Now, Lashley is expected to debut in the coming weeks after all three members of the Hurt Syndicate, MVP, Shelton Benjamin, and Bobby Lashley, signed their deals with the company. MVP is set to primarily serve as a manager for both Benjamin and Lashley, marking the official AEW arrival of the powerful faction. Now, fans can anticipate major moves from the Hurt Syndicate as they make their presence felt in All Elite Wrestling. I think that's kind of interesting. Do you think that they could? We'll go with Max. Do you think that they could get Bobby Swerve Strickland alongside Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin with the Hurt Syndicate? Do you think they could get him on board?
I mean, they could, but I don't think you're going to see that right away. In fact, I think what you're going to see right away is it's going to come across as courting or harassing Swerve. But I think down the road, you will see Swerve join them, especially after everything Swerve's been through the last few months with the house burning down and all that. I think there's a good chance that down the road, not immediately, you will see Swerve with Lashley and Shelton Benjamin.
J-Bone, are you excited for a possibility of Bobby Lashley joining the ranks at AEW? Do you think Swerve would join the Hurt Syndicate?
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what they're all going to do, but Bobby Lashley absolutely still has some miles on him. He's had a great career in TNA. He finally really got to do some great things in WWE, minus the Leo Rush stuff that was just god awful. He became world champ. I think he's got a chance to become world champ in AEW someday. He's and he's also doing great stuff outside the company too. If you follow his new YouTube channel, he's doing all sorts of stuff. He's touring around the nation, finding young talent and trying to put a spotlight on them in a positive way. And he's I think he's like you can watch him do like specific kind of workouts to like inspire others, like, hey, this is how I can do it, you can do this too, stuff like that. He's Bobby Lashley is just a wealth of talent, man. He's just, and to see him on a new platform is gonna be it's gonna be different, you know, but I think Tony will have him do some good stuff. We'll see.
Yeah. I'm excited. I just hope that they can keep the momentum going for Bobby and for Shelton Benjamin and MVP and all that.
And that's the thing. It's like they just celebrated their 5-year anniversary, so you feel like the company is ramping up for something between Moxley and his crew. Now you got this over here with MVP. You got different things like, oh, little surprises coming here and there. We don't know exactly what. Something's brewing, and it's just it's been a long time since we've had that feeling in this company, and
Sure.
it's good to feel that again.
Sure, yeah, absolutely.
Fresh.
Well,
I'm mad at J-Bone.
Why are you mad at J-Bone?
What'd I do?
Leo Rush. Okay, listen. Tony Khan, being the genius that he is, you know what he's going to do, right? And you had to put this in my head to realize it was going to happen. He's going to book Leo Rush to come out and do the Lashley, probably is a taunt to Lashley, but you know we're going to have to hear it on AEW programming at least once, now that you've mentioned that.
I was more worried about the stupid gimmick where he had like Lashley bend over showing his ass to the entire audience. That's what I was. That's what I was. I'm like, that was just embarrassing. It's like that is straight up Vince shit right there. That is Vinnie Mac shit right there. That's what I'm worried about. Just, you know, nonsense like that. No, Tony's not going to give us that.
Yeah. Well, as the countdown to Bad Blood starts from WWE, let's move on to some TNA news, and it's time for J-Bone's total nonstop analysis. And this is kind of interesting, as you know, TNA is starting to really ramp up and they kind of dive into the past, not too much, but TNA has added some members to its Hall of Fame each year since 2020. And plans are in place to continue this tradition this year. Now, according to Sean Ross Sapp, he reported on Fightful Select that while the names of this year's inductees have not been disclosed, multiple sources expressed their honor at the prospect of being inducted, but mentioned that they have not engaged in discussions about it. There have been some hopes among sources that AJ Styles would be inducted into this year's class, although, again, there's no confirmation of that plan. The Impact Wrestling Hall of Fame has recognized several individuals over the years, including Sting, Kurt Angle, Jeff Jarrett, Earl Hebner, Gail Kim, Abyss, Ken Shamrock, Awesome Kong, Raven, and Tracy Brooks. Additionally, the Hall of Fame has recognized group inductions, including Team 3D, Mike Tenay, and Don West. So, J-Bone, as part of your analysis, who do you think is next up to be inducted into the TNA Hall of Fame this year?
Man, that's tough.
Yeah.
That's tough. I mean, there's such a long list of people. I mean, we just had Raven too, and that was great to see. That's if we didn't have Raven yet, that would have been my pick. But Raven went in a year or two ago, I believe. Man, I mean, yeah, I would definitely say AJ, but it sounds like they're going to have something in the works for him. I don't know what with this whole injury angle. And if that's going into the next couple months, Bound for Glory's in the next few weeks. So they got to advertise something relatively soon. They just had the tapings they just had on Wednesday and Thursday are going to lead into Bound for Glory. So, yeah. And I try to stay away from spoilers. Once in a while, if I hear about a certain name, I'll be like, "Oh, did this name show up? Okay, that's fine." That's about it.
Let me throw out a couple names at you, J-Bone, to who I could see them possibly inducting. First and foremost, Eric Young could be one.
Oh yeah, Eric. Yeah, I mean they do have some veterans on their roster like Kaz. Dude, I love Kaz. If you listen to TNI, what we've been doing over there lately on a weekly basis, dude, I am all about Team Frankie Kazarian. I love him. I think that'd be cool. Eric Young.
Hardy Boys.
Yeah, I think so. A lot of people are like, "Oh, they're going to go in the Hall of Fame with WWE next year." Well, I think they should absolutely go in the TNA Hall of Fame because there's so many gimmicks that they've done over the last decade that have really put eyes on TNA. Punk's got a great mention here. We'll bring this up. Christopher Daniels, absolutely.
Oh yeah, Christopher Daniels,
the Fallen Angel. Yeah.
Max, in the private chat, you said who, sir?
I said Robert Roode first, and then I said James Storm.
Yeah.
Well, I thought. Oh no, maybe I'm. Oh, because. Well, James Storm, I was going to say, America's Most Wanted came back a couple of years ago, but I don't think they went in the Hall of Fame. They just kind of came back for like an anniversary appearance, I think it was. But yeah, Robert Roode, America's Most Wanted, Monty Brown. Oh my God!
What about Rhino?
Yeah, Rhino too. Rhino, I think, a lot of people forget, man. Rhino is a former NWA TNA champion, and that was kind of like right before, I think, the whole thing with the NWA and TNA separated. And then I think Kurt was the first official like TNA champion at that time. But yeah, man, the mid to late 2000s were just crazy with stuff. Yeah, there's so many names. I mean, Tommy Dreamer, you could go the ECW route, you can go Tommy Dreamer. There's so many,
Now, Mafia.
Let me J-Bone, let me throw this at you.
Yeah.
Down the road, a possible Hall of Fame induction, Scott D'Amore.
Oh, absolutely. Not now because of the controversy, but yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Can we get Baron back? Because he's ready.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, I'm so sorry.
Listen, though. I was going to say that with not just Scott D'Amore, though. What about all of Team Canada?
Yeah, there
as a group. And then I have a question for you, J-Bone. And you two feel free to answer this. if you were choosing between America's Most Wanted and Beer Money, because thank you, Courtney, for putting Beer Money in the chat, as a tag team to induct, and you're choosing one of them, which tag team do you choose?
Oh God.
You mean between Beer Money and AMW?
Yes.
Oh, I gotta go. I mean, don't get me wrong. Beer Money did great things. They had a great gimmick. I mean, that was kind of like one of those tag teams you threw together where I don't know if it looked like it was gonna work at first, but in the long run, storyline wise, yeah, it did. It was a lot of fun. You had the beer. James Storm. Hi.
Look good. I feel good.
James Storm rode the thing down the ramp to the ring, the beer koozie thing, but whatever the hell it was. That was great. But I gotta go with one of TNA's iconic first tag teams is AMW. If you watch those classic the Asylum shows, the first over 100 Asylum shows, you'll see that AMW did start out kind of goofy, kind of gimmicky, especially James Storm with his cap guns, pew 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 pew. But it ended up being it ended up being really cool, and it polished itself up. It became badass, and I tell you what, it's one of the biggest grassroots thing that you saw for that brand back then, because you saw the signs showing up in the background before they actually call them America's Most Wanted. Mm-hmm. And finally they introduced Cowboy James Storm and oh my God, who's the other guy?
Yeah, you got me lost on that one.
Someone in the chat's going to bring it up.
Chris Harris.
Thank you, Chris Harris.
Yeah.
Jiminy Christmas.
Wildcat Chris Harris.
The Wildcat Chris Harris. Yeah, man. They had one of the most badass gimmicks back then against Triple X. That was an iconic feud. The original Team Canada back then. I mean, so much. There's so much fun, Yeah.
I think the obvious choice here, and I obviously missed a little bit because I had to go to the bathroom. But are we talking just strictly tag teams that are getting inducted into this? Would you consider AJ Styles to be like the primary, like probably the marquee name that would go into this? I don't know who else it could be. Especially with his injury going on right now,
I know you were gone, Baron, but I suggested the Hardy Boys. I suggested Rhino. Eric Young could be one. Frankie Kazarian was around at the beginning, wasn't he, J-Bone?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so, he was on one of the first shows, yeah.
Frankie Kazarian. There's just a lot of names that could be thrown into the hat as far as who they could get, as a name. Jerry
F. Lynn.
No, there's a lot of names that could be, but like from the names that I see currently in TNA, I don't see how AJ Styles hasn't made in there. He's day one, if I'm not mistaken, in TNA.
Well, yeah, I think Eric Young would be one too. So,
yeah, probably because they're both they're as active as they are still.
That's true. Yeah, active. That always throws a loop into things.
But for me, it would be Beer Money because everything's glorious when Rude and James Storm are together. But I think we need to also point out what Barry Monkey said in the Twitch chat. He suggested Abyss, and he also said Motor City Machine Guns.
Abyss already went in.
There you go, Barry. Abyss is already in.
Yep.
And Punk said, did we talk about Punk saying LAX?
I think I put it up on the screen, but yeah, LAX. It depends on what formation of LAX you're talking about, because right now we talked about this a few weeks ago. I think the last time we were on, there's some controversy with Hernandez. So I don't think that'd be the best choice to put up there right now. Let's clear the air on whatever's going on with him, and maybe down the road you could see Homicide and him get inducted.
Yeah. I mean, there's just a bunch of names that we could think of that could possibly go into the Hall of Fame for TNA.
What about J-Bone? Why don't we induct J-Bone?
Yeah, let's put J-Bone in there, man.
Let's get his name on the fucking ballot here.
Yeah.
Let's get it going. Let's get the ball rolling. You got at least 3 votes, all right? 4. 5, technically.
Yeah,
we'll get you in there.
I'm even down to putting the whole TNI podcast.
Yeah.
I think the whole
front row Bill is got to go in for. He's a shoo-in. Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So, Barry asked a good question. Any women to go in? I just looked this up to confirm. It does not look like the beautiful people have been inducted into the Hall of Fame yet. So that would be my recommendation: is one or all of the beautiful people.
Oh, the beautiful people, absolutely. I would pick. Now she's gone by a couple of different names over the years, but Victoria.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
Gail Kim is though. Gail Kim and Awesome Kong, I believe, are in the Hall of Fame. I think.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
Awesome Kong's in the Hall of Fame. Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. And Gail Kim too.
Yeah.
So the current
Gail Kim was the first, and Awesome Kong. Yeah, you got to get. I mean that first Knockouts roster was iconic for what they were doing at the time in the late 2000s, when they weren't doing anything super well. You know, they were they weren't picking just models to go out there and have, like, you know, shaving cream fights or whipped cream fights or whatever. No, they were kicking ass, you know?
Yeah. So let's just run down the list of the folks that are in the TNA Hall of Fame, and then we're going to move on to our predictions for Bad Blood. Currently in the Hall of Fame, Sting, Kurt Angle, Jeff Jarrett, Earl Hebner, Gail Kim, Abyss, Ken Shamrock, Awesome Kong, Raven, and Tracy Brooks. Those are the names that are currently in the Hall of Fame as far as wrestlers go. Now, I don't know if Mike Tenay.
Oh, how did I miss Tracy? I met Tracy Brooks last year. She's wonderful.
Yeah. Now those are just the wrestlers, of course. Team 3D, Mike Tenay, and Don West are currently recognized as inductions too into the Hall of Fame. So, we'll just, it's just an ongoing conversation that can be had, So, I would think at some point they would put Aces and Eights in the Hall of Fame, because that was a really good. I loved that faction. I absolutely loved it. But
yeah, I hear you. I mean, it was cool. It kind of slid off the rails quickly, unfortunately, but it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was very NWO-ish, and that, that's what you had with Hogan and all that. But real quick, Max, before
I'm going to shock you guys with this last name. I think Jim Cornette should be inducted.
I really think so too.
Okay.
Yes, but all the hate I spew about Corny, I still cannot step away from the fact that he deserves the induction.
He definitely does. He's
controversial, but he is iconic. So
yeah. So let's move on to, because again, this conversation could take hours and hours and hours. Let's move on to our predictions for Bad Blood. Of course, that Bad Blood emanates from Atlanta, Georgia.
Atlanta.
The State Farm Arena in Atlanta, Georgia. And we are really excited to give you our predictions. And, of course, we want to hear your predictions, too. And you know what? Let's start it off with J-Bone this time. We'll start it off with J-Bone. Your predictions. All right, let's go down the line. The tag team match, the stipulation, the title on the line between Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns and the Bloodline. Sikoa and Jacob Fatu. Who you got?
Oh, wait. No, I didn't think it was a title match. I thought it was just like a kind of like a grudge match.
This said it's a title on the line.
Hang on, let me check the
Yeah,
site.
there's no title on the line for this match.
No, because the title holders.
Something changed last night. I don't remember.
Because the titles were actually on the line last night in that ladder match, and it was Tonga Loa and Tama Tonga. This is just Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu.
Okay, well then that makes that changes my prediction then, because I thought.
I mean, Cody's holding his world title in the picture here, but there's no title on the line.
Okay, well I was mistaken then. I got it from a different source, so
it's okay.
That'd be badass if it kind of was though.
It would
be interesting.
Yeah. All right, so Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns versus the Bloodline. J-Bone, who you got? No title on the line.
Oh God. Look, I just want to see Jacob Fatu jump off the top of the cell. And not kill himself. I really feel like I really feel like the Bloodline should get a win here. I know everyone's gonna say, "Oh no, it's Roman's big return. He has to win." No, he doesn't. Because then how are you gonna keep the story going if Roman wins here?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, part of the drama is between he and Cody. So like, how are they going to work together? You know? So as far as advantage, Bloodline's got this locked down as far as an advantage because they all are the new, 2.0 Bloodline, whatever you want to call it, There was Solo, and that's everything's good there as far as we know, unless something happens during this match and Jacob Fatu goes batshit crazy on Solo, which I think might happen down the line somewhere. I think it's destined that Jacob Fatu breaks away and has an amazing career on his own. But I think it's way too soon for that. So yeah, but I'm saying Bloodline, absolutely.
Okay. Hell in a Cell match between CM Punk and Drew McIntyre. Who do you got, J-Bone?
Oof, I gotta go with my boy CM Punk. It's gonna be ugly. I'm not gonna lie. I think Drew actually has a little bit of an advantage going into this. I think I'm not gonna call it ring rust. I'm not gonna call it ring rust, but I think Punk going in. It's been a while. It's been a while since he's been in a cell, and he looked a little. I'll just say, for lack of better words, intimidated in this last Monday Night Raw, where he walked in there, and he was just kind of like, "Wow!" It's kind of like walking into an old house, and you start getting some chills because you got memories in an old house, Sure. Yeah. But I think Punk's going to use that to his advantage in the long run. So yeah, Punk.
Okay. All right. The Women's World Championship match with Dominic Mysterio suspended above the ring in a shark cage between Liv Morgan, who is a current champion, and Rhea Ripley. J-Bone.
Shark Tank for the win, baby. Oh my God. I think God, this is just going to be so much fun because the whole thing's going to be Dominic Mysterio just shitting himself up there. I think Liv Morgan does something to win. The classic thing is where Dominic Mysterio drops something down in the ring for her. That's classic stuff right there. But however they do spin it, do it, whatever. It's I'm sorry. But yeah, Liv wins.
Okay. The WWE Women's Championship match between Nia Jax and Bayley.
Ooh, that's a tough one. I think Nia Jax wins, but I think we get a cash in.
Oh,
they've been heating that up for a while now.
Yeah.
I would love to see some Tiffy Time get that title and just shock the world.
Totally forgot about that.
So you're saying, hold on. So just to clarify, you're saying Tiffy cashes in and wins the title tonight?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I totally forgot about Tiffy Time, man. Holy shit, how did I forget about that? That's a good prediction.
Nia Jax has just been like, she looks down on her. She's trying to intimidate her, and she's, it's like, you are not gonna, F with your queen, and all that stuff. And I think Tiffany Stratton's just gonna wallop her tonight.
That's a good prediction there, sir. The last one we have, Damian Priest versus Finn Bálor.
Can we get JD McDonough in the Shark Tank too? No, I'm just kidding.
let's just put all of the Judgment Day in a shark cage.
Let's put.
That's not cool.
Let's put Carlito and a big bucket of chicken nuggets up there for. I don't know. Yeah, that's not cool. Well, he'll be happy up there. He'll have his bucket of chicken. Oh no, he's the Apple guy. Never mind. Dominic Mysterio is the chicken nugget guy. Or tenders, whatever it is. I don't know. I'm gonna go Finn Bálor here.
Okay. Let's move on to Max Magus. Let's get your predictions. Let's first start it off with the tag team match. Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns versus the Bloodline, Sikoa and Jacob Fatu. Max, who do you have?
So first, let me answer the initial question that we had on the pay-per-view. Are you excited for Bloodline? I am. And the build-up has done that for me. But the promo between Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes in the stadium really made me excited for this. It was one of the best promos I've ever watched. And while Solo and Fatu should win this, I actually think we see a return tonight that puts the win on Rhodes and Reigns. So I'm going Rhodes and Reigns on this one.
Okay, yeah. The Hell in a Cell match between CM Punk and Drew McIntyre.
I think that after the bracelet got broken, Punk's superpower, I think Punk needs a win. We're going with Punk on this one.
Okay. Women's World Championship match with Dominic Mysterio suspended above the ring in a shark cage. Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley. Max.
This one's a tough one. I'm gonna call in a proxy for this. Baron, who am I picking in this match?
You phone a friend? What the hell?
Wait, what match?
Liv Morgan, Rhea Ripley.
I mean, that's why I had to make sure you said it again. So you threw out the first name first. I mean, it's an obvious choice here who we're going with, right, Max?
We're going with Liv
Morgan. All right. The women's championship match between Nia Jax and Bayley. Max.
Part of the reason I clarified with J-Bone is because I'm typing up predictions for us so that we will remember them when we discuss this later. And part of the reason that I clarified is because he said exactly what I was going to say. Nia wins the initial match. Tiffy cashes in and wins.
Oh, great minds think alike. Thank you.
Yeah. You know what? I'm kind of leaning on that too. Finally, Max, Damian Priest and Finn Bálor.
Ooh. I think that this is holding out for a bigger show before Damian gets the win. So I'm going Finn on the win on this one.
Okay. All right. And we move on to our buddy Baron. Let's get your thoughts, man. Let's start it off with the tag team match: Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns versus the Bloodline. Solo Sikoa, Jacob Fatu, Baron. Who do you have?
I'm going Bloodline 100% here. There's going to be some shenanigans happening. I wouldn't be surprised if we get this bad blood. Bad blood. We've had maybe one or two of these pay-per-views. Remember, there was a big one that happened in 1997. I was there. That's why I'm mentioning it. Kane showed up. So let's just, throwing that out there that there's always a good indication somebody might be showing up.
You were at the first one, bro?
I was at the first one. I was there.
Oh,
Nosebleed.
dude, that's sick. I did not know that, dude.
I was at the first one at St. Louis at the Kiel Center. Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker and Hell in a Cell, the first one they've ever had.
That's
when
Kane.
And then it was fucking Kane came out. We're like, oh my God, he's scary son of a bitch.
Oh yeah, dude, I was scared of hell. I was scared of Kane. Even on TV.
That was my first major WWE pay-per-view I've been to 100 probably in your house pay-per-views before this one, but this was the first major marquee one.
Wow.
And so when it comes to this name, I always expect something happening with a debut or a return. The Rock, we can't ever rule The Rock out, and this is the perfect time to do so.
I don't mean to cut you off, Baron. I'm really sorry, but Courtney put this in here, says a Hikuleo debut, and I would love that. Now, we don't have Vince around anymore, but, you got to have somebody like, that's Hikuleo. Damn it. Oh, my God. That's got to be Hikuleo. All right, continue. I'm sorry.
Great pay-per-view.
That man's got kids.
No, that's Jacob Fatu. He's got like 10 kids.
Yeah, literally. Yeah, I'm going Bloodline here. This is Bloodline win. It's going to be some shit that's happening. There's going to be people fucking flying everywhere. Fatu, I hope he fucking tears it down.
Yeah.
Yep.
How about Hell in a Cell? CM Punk, Drew McIntyre. Baron, who do you have?
This is a really hard one, actually. Part of me wants CM Punk, but I think CM Punk is having so much fun at this point in WWE that I think he will let Drew McIntyre go over. Yes, he will let him. So I'm going with Drew on this one.
Ooh, okay. The Women's World Championship match with Dominic Mysterio suspended above a ring in a shark cage. We already
don't even go any further. Liv Morgan. Liv Morgan. I wish I was in the Shark Tank, actually, but yeah, Liv.
All right. The Women's Championship match between Nia Jax and Bayley.
Liv. I'm sorry.
He's got Liv on the brain, folks.
Wouldn't you?
I'm going to agree with Max and J-Bone on this. I think there's going to be a cash in on this match for sure.
It's a really good stipulation. That's a really good prediction.
No, it was a good point. I totally forgot about that, and it lines up with everything that Nia Jax has been doing to, kind of just looking down on her. So I don't know if they want to continue that further, but I'm going to go with Tiffany walks out with that title by then.
Okay. Yeah.
So what you're going to say, what you're saying is Liv is going to sneak into the Hell in a Cell and beat CM Punk.
Yeah. Well, that was I mean, she's going to be also in the tag match against Bloodline refereeing. Let's just put her on every fucking match. Let's just make it easier for everyone.
So to clarify real quick, Baron, are you saying Nia's winning the one-on-one match and then Tiffany cashes in and wins? Are you saying Bayley wins, or are you saying
Bayley wins, cash in on Bayley, so there's not a massive drift between Nia and Tiff, and they can beef it out from that on.
Oh,
okay.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Finally, Damian Priest versus Finn Bálor.
I'm going with Damian on this match.
Okay. All right. Time for me. Oh boy.
Man, that's a small card. Holy shit.
Yeah, 5 matches.
Okay.
It's gonna be a 3-hour show or so, 5 hours, something like that.
Which means Jey Uso is not tied up. He can come out and rescue the boys tonight.
Right. Exactly. As far as the tag team the tag team match between Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns and the Bloodline, Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu. See, I thought the title was on the line with this, and since it's not anymore, I'm going to go with the Bloodline. because they gotta carry this feud on. You know, I think this is going to be a WrestleMania feud that we're going to see. As far as Hell in a Cell between Punk and Drew McIntyre, this has been so good. They've built this. I mean, they've told this story really, really well with the bracelets, with everything else. You know, just the personal shots, everything. I'm gonna say CM Punk gets retribution on Drew McIntyre and walks out the winner, and they put this feud to bed. I think this is the last. This is the end of the feud. So I'm going to go with CM Punk for the Women's World Championship match with Dominic Mysterio high above the ring in a shark cage between Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley. Liv is the current champion, as we know, but I think that there's, you know, with this whole Rhea Ripley, Damian Priest partnership, I think that they're going to be a powerful entity. Honestly, I think that's what they're teaming up to be. So I'm going to go with Rhea Ripley to win the championship. Sorry, Baron. I know. I know. I get it, buddy.
Dude.
I know.
Man, Rhea Ripley's going to end up in the Shark Tank with a bucket of nuggets.
You know, they actually have a faction name for Priest and Ripley. They even made shirts. They're called the Terror Twins.
Yep. I have a feeling that Rhea Ripley is going to get this title, and she and Damian are really going to have a good team. As far as the women's championship match go between Nia Jax and Bayley, I am forever fucked Nia Jax. I fucking hate Nia Jax. So I'm going to go with Bayley. And if it's not Bayley, Nia Jax goes over, but Tippy Time comes out, cashes in, and wins, making her the new women's championship. But fuck Nia Jax. Can't say it enough.
I thought there was a time when you actually liked her.
No.
No?
No.
Okay.
So,
Sorry.
Dizzy, for the purposes of typing up our predictions, am I putting down that Bayley wins and then Tiffy cashes in for you, or am I putting Nia wins and Tiffy cashes in for you?
I'm going to say this is how I'm going to go with it. Either way, Tiffy is coming out to cash in. So
right.
if Bayley goes over, Tiffy's coming out to cash in. And if Nia Jax goes over, Tiffy's coming out to cash in. I think if Nia Jax goes over and Tiffany Stratton comes and cashes in, they're going to continue that feud between Nia Jax and Tiffy Time. Bayley, I think if Bayley goes over, they'll continue the feud with Nia Jax and Tiffy Time because Tiffy's going to cash in and win. So you can put me down for Bayley because fuck Nia Jax.
Got it. I got you down for Bayley.
I think no matter what, Tiffany Stratton's going to come out and cash in, and they're going to continue the feud. They're going to build a feud between Nia Jax and Tiffany Stratton.
Hence bad blood.
The cash in is the bonus points, right, Max? Are we getting bonus points for that cash in? Because technically that shouldn't, interfere with our win-loss ratio. There,
right. That's a bonus. If she doesn't cash in, it's not going to affect us.
Yeah.
And Zach says if cash in but doesn't win, then I'm going to go with Bayley.
Then we blame Zach.
That's right.
Yeah.
We blame Zach. We take him out. We beat him with our steel chairs.
Forever.
You dare doubt Tiffany Stratton? Come on, Zach. You're better than this.
Forever fuck Nia Jax. Forever. Here, now, forever. Together. We're all saying fuck Nia Jax.
I've got this like deep down feeling that Dizzy's just saying it as a cover up. He actually has Nia Jax posters all over his wall in his bed.
Listen, you're not right. Okay? He only has one Nia Jax poster. The rest of the wall has, what is it on it that he has on it? Nickelback posters.
No. No, definitely no. If I did, they would be used for dart practice. I'd go join a dart league and just practice with those.
I have an entire room dedicated to Liv Morgan.
I was hoping that you would, Max. I was hoping that you would say I'd have Joe Hendry up on a poster because I believe in Joe Hendry.
I know you do. That's at the office. You've covered your little cubicle at the office with Joe Hendry.
That's the office. Yeah.
Yes.
It's like the cat hanging on the clothesline, like hanging in there. Joe Hendry just gives me optimism that everything's going to be okay because I can believe in Joe Hendry and everything's fine.
But you're very publicly supportive of Joe Hendry. You're very publicly negative of Nia and Nickelback. So it makes sense that those are on the wall in your bedroom where none of us can see them.
But I'm going to do. If they are, and I'm not saying that they are. Okay. Dart practice. The pitches. And I'm aiming right for their fucking heads too. That's my bullseye. Wow.
Hey, but before we wrap this up, I don't want to leave something.
I have one more.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I have one more. Yeah, no. We got sidetracked with
darts. Darts.
Yeah, and darts. Damian Priest and Finn Bálor again. I think they're going to continue building up the Terror Twins, Rhea Ripley and Damian Priest. I think Damian Priest is going to go, but we will expect a few run-ins from the Judgment Day, and I think Rhea Ripley will come out and try to save. So Damian Priest.
Okay.
So go ahead, J-Bone. I'm sorry.
No, I just Max mentioned something in our private chat about Motor City Machine Guns, and we were talking about them way at the beginning of the show, and I didn't want to forget this. And that was actually one from the desk of Max Magus, and the question for the thing was that the WWE never planned an NXT run for Motor City Machine Guns. So, Max, the question was, do you think that that's a good deal for Motor City Machine Guns, that they don't get an NXT run and they just go to the main roster?
Oh, I think this is great for the Motor City Machine Guns. In fact, when we originally talked about them signing with the WWE, it did say they were going to go to NXT, and my statement was they're going to show up there long enough, introduce themselves, and boom, be on the main roster. Shout out to Courtney, because Courtney said there's no reason for them to go to NXT because of who they are. You're right, Courtney. There is no reason for that, and that's why the WWE decided, let's go ahead and just skip that step as we had planned. This is the right move. They do need to be on the main roster, especially considering WWE's struggle with tag teams. I mean, right now, some of your best tag teams are throw-togethers, and your actual quality, been together for years, like cement tag teams aren't doing anything right now. So you need some more of those established teams. Motor City Machine Guns is a great acquisition and belongs on the main roster. They will most likely be going to the flagship, but I can see them on SmackDown as well.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I don't disagree with you on that. So that's a good, I like that point of view. But that, ladies and gentlemen, is the show for this week. And we thank you. We apologize. It's been forever since we've been on, but life kicks us in the ass sometimes. And I'm glad all of us are in one piece. And we will continue to bring you the best content that we possibly can from here on out. So in that regard, how can they follow everybody? We'll start with Mr. Max Magus.
You can find me for wrestling stuff at Max Magus. You can find the nerdy stuff at Our Shots Podcast. And guys, I can't say this enough. The last show we did, I actually did an intro for this man, but I want to say we would not have this show in the first place if not for the man sitting directly above me. So I want to make sure you all remember to thank him for us having the show to begin with. Yes, J-Bone does all the production work, but we wouldn't be here without this man right here, Dizzy. So everybody, please thank him.
Thank you. I thank you. I appreciate that. But I have to thank you guys too, because I don't want to come on here and just talk by myself. It would be boring. And you guys bring a really good analysis to the show. J-Bone has really high quality production work, and I trust him. And Baron, you are always comedic with everything that you do. Whenever we talk about AEW, I try to not give you your $9.99 moments in that, but
I think you do. I think you do on purpose so you can laugh.
I'm gonna try not to. Okay.
Nah, it doesn't bother me. It's all fun. We enjoy what we're doing. I think we can all agree that we love doing it. So
yeah, this is a lot of fun. We've been doing this for years, man. Like since 2014, 2015. Baron, you're an OG on the show. Max, you're an OG on the show. J-Bone, we added you later on in the lineup after Bubba took a long forever hiatus from professional wrestling podcasting. So we miss you, Bubba. We need to get some of his analysis on here too. But
that'd be nice.
It would just be a clip of him peeing in the toilet. That's all it would be. Whatever the question that has brought to his attention.
Oh my God, that will forever go down in this show's infamy. I swear to God, forever. But we also want to thank our viewers too for being here every weekend and hanging out with us, spending some time with us, talking about professional wrestling. We thank you for listening to us, subscribing to our YouTube channel, subscribing to us, or following us on TikTok, on all of our social media platforms. We wouldn't do this show if it weren't for you guys. So thank you to our wonderful viewers and listeners that come and hang out with us. Baron, how can they follow you on social media, sir?
Over here, Scumbag Jordan, 3 ends.
3 ends.
Follow me for 0 content. Couple retweets here and there. But yeah, I'm there.
He's a safe one to follow.
Yeah, very safe.
Also, follow him for a contact high too.
Yes.
The cloud.
The cloud. As long as you see the clouds, you will know Baron was there. J-Bone, how can they follow you, sir?
You can follow my take 2. You see, it's been a while. I'm a little rusty. You can follow me on the old Twitter box at JBone5150. That's JAYBONE 5150. You can also see me. The whole crew should be back this coming Thursday, doing all things TNA related over on Total Nonstop Impact. It's been a while since we've had everyone together and healthy on there. So that's been a long time coming. And make sure you check out all the links in the description. Go check out some merch. Get yourself it's going to be fall season. Go get yourself a hoodie or a sweatshirt.
I need to go get me one.
I got to apologize. I laughed when you stumbled, and it wasn't because you stumbled, but it's because of what went off in my head. And what I heard in my head was bala bala bala.
Bala bala bala.
Oh boy.
And then I can sing the Russian national anthem.
You can follow the show on Facebook. Just search for Ramblers Unleashed, and you'll find us there. On X, we are at the Ramblers Pod. And, of course, we're right here on YouTube. And you can find us at Ramblers Unleashed. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe, and hit the bell icon to get more notifications on when we go live. You can also follow us on Twitch and just search for us, Ramblers Unleashed. We're right there on Twitch for you too, and we're actually streaming live to Twitch right now. So thank you for those of you watching us on Twitch. And Max, you're on Twitch too, right?
I am. Same username, Max Magus. The only difference is that on Twitch it's Max_Magus. I don't really stream on Twitch. Maybe I will at some point, but right now I'm on there. I watch other streamers. I come on our stream on Twitch and hang out in the chat. So
cool. Right on. Well, I mean, you can find us anywhere, and we're all over the place for you. But again, thank you for spending your Saturday afternoon with us, and we do hope you enjoy Bad Blood. And are you fellas going to be back for a review show?
Maybe I'll grab a shovel and dig up the old Smash This podcast tonight. We'll see.
Maybe a review show on Smash This podcast, and I'm sure I know 2 other folks that would be interested in joining you.
Hey, I am planning on watching Bad Blood live tonight, so if you want to do a review show, let me know.
And now the show is on, like the pre-show is going to be starting in a few minutes, as far as I know, and the pay-per-view starts. Yeah,
what time's the actual show start now?
It's actually, and I'm not sure why. I'm not going to guess, but it's but yeah, the show is earlier than usual.
Oh, really? Oh,
and,
shit, okay.
So it's going to start soon, and so when I would do a review tonight, I'm guessing would be about 9-ish. It wouldn't be immediately afterwards, just because dinner and shit's gonna go on at the same time. So it'll be a little later tonight, around 9-ish Central Time. So
the
6 p.m. Eastern Time.
Yeah, the event will start rolling at 5 p.m. Eastern Time, and then the PLE
Central
6 p.m. Eastern Time.
Yep,
that's really only an hour earlier than normal.
Yeah, but it still throws me for a loop, because every Saturday with these shows, it's always a different fucking time.
Yeah,
but they also go, all over the world. So
I know. It's just like,
but it's kind of hard to keep up. It's at some points, but
it is.
Yeah,
it's better than not having a show on Sunday. I think Sunday, especially with football season going on, would be rough for a pay-per-view. So.
All I know is that the Hell in the Cell match is supposed to go on first, and that's going to be a wild ride. But I do have a feeling, and we didn't mention this, so I'm just going to throw this out there before we wrap this up. I got a feeling that Hell in the Cell is going to come into play at the end of the pay-per-view, if you know what I mean. That tag match,
possibly.
Bring it.
What do you mean? I thought that match is in the Hell in the Cell.
No, only Punk and McIntyre is the only Hell in the Cell, but that is scheduled to actually start the pay-per-view, which is crazy.
That's crazy as well. Huh. Okay.
Yeah. We'll have to see.
I was thinking that tag match was. Well, then that makes even more sense. Somebody's definitely either debuting or returning tonight. If that's the case. If they're on the main event, because technically I think CM Punk and Drew should be headlining the show. But if somebody's coming back, that is, I think, a clear indication that somebody's coming back.
So the Rock is going to fall through the top of the cell, and Hikuleo is going to come up through the canvas in the main event, and they're going to be like, "Oh my god! Oh my god!
I'm fucking for it, dude!
It's Hikuleo! Oh my god!"
I was always taught that when you are booking a show, nothing ever supersedes the top title that's on the card for the evening. So, for example, if Cody's belt was on the line, you don't have a match that goes on after that. I have since learned through my own experiences and also Triple H's booking, because I pay attention to what the man does, that sometimes there is a match that has higher priority. Now, J-Bone's right. The cell match is weird going first. However, your tag title, your tag title, Dizzy's got me doing it now. Your tag team match has the bad blood in it.
Yeah.
That's the match. I mean, don't get me wrong. Liv and Rhea is some bad blood, but this match, Roman is coming after his family that took everything from him after he left, after Cody won the title.
Yeah.
This is where your bad blood is. This is the match that makes sense to be main event.
Yeah.
In my opinion, as a booker.
I hear you. They all got a little bad blood, but there's specific storylines that absolutely fit the title. Here's another reason why it might be. Mayor just put this in the chat. Thank you. It says UFC is doing a show at 10. Okay, so if it's 10 Eastern, 9 Central, that makes sense that WWE wants the show over before UFC because they're actually all in the same company now. So it's
right.
Hey, we'll do this, and
point.
then you can do this.
We're no longer competing. We're working together.
Right.
Exactly.
Yep. But again, hope you guys enjoyed Bad Blood tonight. And those fellers will be back for a review for you on Smash This Podcast right after the PLE is over. So enjoy that. I will miss the PLE. I'll catch it back on a replay tomorrow. But we will definitely be back, hopefully on Saturday, next Saturday. And we'll talk some more wrestling news. In the meantime, please enjoy professional wrestling or any kind of wrestling that you prefer. And until next time, we'll see you later. Enjoy Bad Blood.
Thanks for tuning in to Ramblers Unleashed. Follow the show on social media, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and click the bell icon for notifications of upcoming episodes.